Hey guys, Brad McCraw, MOSAIC Pro Events Executive Producer, CEO, here with the Crew Call Pod, another episode we've got. We've been trying to talk to other CEOs, production company owners. We're talking industry leaders, industry stuff. You've had a couple episodes. Nick from IPS was a great one. Daniel Cannell from DC Pro was a great one. And then we've got another amazing one today, which I'm excited for. Eddie I'm going to let him pronounce his last name because it's impossible to pronounce for me as a white guy. Go ahead, Eddie. Suparman from Concept Pixels.
Thanks for having me.
Superman sounds better. Yeah. Also alongside is Andrew Knisley, here with us, co-owner of MOSAIC Pro Events. So this should be a fun one. Eddie is, if you know Eddie, which I'm sure everybody in the industry somehow knows Eddie, he's got connections all over the place, and we all somehow know Eddie. I think it's just because he's larger than life. That's not a dig at your weight. That's just
no, it is.
Personality is larger than life. Yeah, welcome, Eddie. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, me and Eddie have known each other. Gosh, I think we connected. Did we connect when I was in the church world or right after?
Probably after.
Probably right after, yeah. But I think church connections, we kind of ran in the same circles. I mean, if you are doing anything with ministry and production, I feel like we all kind of know each other. It's like the Daniel and the Nick. We all just kind of know each other. If you're in those two industries, you just kind of become friends, which is awesome. So, we connected, and then we've worked together alongside each other on a few shows. And obviously, I'm a fan of Eddie and Concept Pixels and everything he's doing. So I think what I love to get started on these podcasts when I'm interviewing guys like you is origin stories. So tell me a little about how you got in the industry. Where'd you start? What was the first thing you did that you would consider in the industry?
I want to say I started, at church, obviously, when I was, not obviously, but I started at church when I was young, probably 11. Before that, I was actually doing music in church when I was 5.
Really? What were you doing?
I was playing drums.
Okay.
So I played drums when I was 5. Stayed playing drums till I was like 20.
Okay.
But from there, I really like I felt like there was a lack in, or at least my church, a lack in the production side of things.
Yeah.
And when I was 5, I actually used to watch Harvest Crusade and stuff like that.
You were playing in adult church at 5, or you were playing in kids church?
No,
you were that good? You were playing in adult church at 5?
You were like those viral videos you see, adult worship.
Maybe not that good, but I was decent when I was 5.
We need to have a drum off between him and our jib operator, Sam.
Sam Shelton, one of the best in the biz. Good. I feel like you always see those Prodigy videos, and it is an Asian kid, so it just makes sense.
That's very true. There is a lot of Prodigy Asian musicians.
Why do you have to be so good at everything? Gosh.
It's either a drummer or you're putting Rubik's Cubes together really fast.
And counting math.
Yeah. So 5 in adult church.
Yeah.
What was the transition from the worship band to tech side of things?
There was a lack of tech, and I liked lighting at the time. And but before that, I was actually looking at, always mesmerized with watching Harvest Crusade and stuff like the big concert stuff, and just always wanting to be a part of that growing up. I remember my first one was Harvest Crusade when I was 5.
But you wanted to be a part of it as a drummer?
No, in the production, I was just very mesmerized on how they shoot things.
Oh, that's cool.
And how lighting looks change. It just blew my mind. So I wanted to get into that and started doing stuff at the church and doing lighting. Then I got into audio. Because there wasn't really any audio guys either that didn't know much. And it was a lot of the old volunteer guys that just did it. So there isn't really anyone young. And I started, getting into that. And that's where there was a production manager that goes to the church, got me in as a utility stagehand when I was 16. And I tried it in the summer and I liked it. And it was a corporate gig. And my first gig actually was a real estate event out in Anaheim, and my first thing I had to do was pull, I think it was 2,000 feet of CamLock.
Oh gosh!
At the Anaheim.
And you didn't quit the industry immediately?
No, at Anaheim Convention Center. That was the first thing they put me through.
So that was full circle.
Yeah, it was with VTS, I think the old labor company.
Yeah, I remember VTS.
So I did that, and that was just started talking to a lot of the guys, the lead lighting guy there, because I was very into lighting. Was talking to a lot of the engineer guys, and they were very annoyed with me because I was just asking way too many questions. Yeah. And that was before I knew anything about like vibes and stuff like that. So
how to be a good hang.
Yeah, how to be a good hang.
You were that stagehand.
Yeah, I was that stagehand just trying to figure it all out right there.
We all know those stagehands now, and they're literally the worst on the show. Just stop asking us questions.
Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, like I think one of the video engineers on that show that like hated my guts, I ran into him in Dallas doing a tour, and I think it was an elevation tour, and he came up to me and was like, "Wait, are you Eddie?" And I was like, "Who are you?" Like I had no idea.
That's wild.
He's like, "I was this like engineering this company," and I was like, "I really don't remember." He's like, "Yeah, like I didn't really treat you well, but," he's like, "Man, you guys are doing big things now." So and this was like a couple years back.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
That's why you never know. You always have to be nice to everybody.
Exactly.
Someday they might be your boss.
Exactly.
You know? So lighting. So let's
lighting.
Like, how long were you into lighting, and did that ever do anything?
No, not really. I didn't really. Actually, it did. I did a little bit of lighting. Going from that, I started working for a wedding company and did lighting when I was 19 to 21.
Okay.
And it was a company called DPS out in Irvine, and it was just doing like weekend lighting gigs for like weddings and stuff like that. I actually programmed a lot of it on like the Leprechaun consoles.
Yes.
And started learning on the Martins, and I was like, you know what, I don't like this. So I just stuck to like uplights and just aerial perimeter lighting, atmospheric lighting, like just simple wedding stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of guys we talk to started in weddings.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
crazy.
It's kind of
Yeah. But before that, actually, I was going to do, I love film. Like growing up, I just love shooting like home movies and stuff like that. So I wanted to get into like the wedding videography scene. But I learned that I hate editing. And I just hated it. And after like 2 failed wedding videos, like I gave up and didn't do it again.
Yeah, you just like to show's done, you're done.
Yeah.
Not keep going with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't like that aspect of it. So I was like, okay, maybe film isn't the best thing.
I'm not sure you can consider wedding videos film.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Maybe that was the wrong way to dip your toe into film.
No, because there was one thing that I was trying, and it was the first time I've ever seen it. And there was one company in all the wedding videos that shot cinematic. And
so
that's where I was trying
game.
I was trying to do that.
Gotcha.
But I just hated editing.
Yep.
And I just didn't have any creative ideas when it came to weddings. So that was kind of a dead thing for me.
So how long did you stay in the lighting side of our industry?
21. So from 11 to 21, well, maybe 17 to 21.
Really?
Yeah.
And then, we all know you as a video guy. Everything, Concept Pixels, everything Eddie is video guy. So what was the transition from lighting guy to video guy?
I got hired at a company called DPS, and that company hired me as a lighting guy. Then they tried hiring me as a video guy. I said no. Tried hiring me as a PM. I said no. And then they tried hiring me as a videographer guy, and I said no. And then after that, they're like, okay, this is the last time. I'm going to hire you as an account executive. And I'm like, oh, that's different. So got paid like 40 grand a year. And I was like, I don't know any, I don't know how to do sales.
Yeah.
And I was very introverted, like very, very introverted. Hated talking to people, just wanted to be behind the scenes.
Which is crazy to think about because now you don't stop talking. You're super extroverted.
Complete opposite.
Yeah.
It takes a lot,
Yeah.
But now it's my first year of sales, I was just always worried about making my salary for the company's return.
Yeah.
So I actually hit $125,000 that first year. The second year I did double that, $250,000. The third year I did about $800,000, and then the fourth year I did $1.2 million.
Wow!
And that was just all connections.
Yeah.
As a sales guy, and just that's where I met everybody in the industry. I want to say the second year I started meeting, I met, the guys over at Jesus Culture who now do everything.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this with Corey Edwards, and I'm sure you know.
Yep, Corey.
And
shout out to Corey.
Everyone in the industry that's doing something big, and a lot of them are. We all met at Jesus Culture, and we were all like small roles at Jesus Culture and doing their conferences and tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool, right? It was just such a catalyst. I know a lot of guys that came through that same same vein, and they all came from the Sacramento, Jesus
Bayside
culture,
guys.
Bayside, the Brian Vaughn, the Lee Fields, all those guys came through there at some point in the other. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, because I met Brian Vaughn there. I met Dustin Reynolds there, who's with TR now, Thomas Rhett. There's just a lot of people that have huge talent.
Yeah, why do you think that is? What was it about that, like that just system? It's just the connections, and you guys all stay connected?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of that. Like, everyone was young, and we're all young when we all met, and everyone just was good hangs, and very approachable and not super cocky, I think, is a big one where, everyone wanted to learn, and I remember when Brian Vaughn, when I met him, I thought his key lighting sucked. Like, it was horrible. When it came to video and stuff.
Shout out to Brian Vaughn.
Shout out to Brian. Hey, but now he's doing...
He's the best.
Yeah, now he's doing like Carrie Underwood and Justin Timberlake. He's awesome. And I just love working with him on his designs now. And it's like, wow.
Him and Clay Joyner work together, who just happens to be Knisley's brother-in-law.
I was just with Clay last week.
World.
Very small world.
Which is great. Yeah, so all those guys came out of there. So transition, you were at that company for how long?
I was there till 2014, and then unfortunately went under after that. 2015 actually, and then after that I freelanced for, I worked for another video company. I'm not going to say names on that, but I was there for 4 months and I hated it.
Okay.
Just because of quality and how they ran everything. So I actually started Concept in May of 2016. As for tax reasons, not for
just your personal LLC.
Just personal LLC, just trying to get it through. And I had clients still, and I was just going to take care of the clients I already had, not get any new clients, and just broker gear. Essentially, what MOSAIC is doing, but just on a smaller level of like production management.
How'd you get the cool name? Because I love the name.
Concept
Pixels.
It was my business partner actually created it, but it was the wedding division. Of that when we did weddings for 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was it.
You were guys, at that point you were doing what for weddings?
No, we were like 18.
But it was back when you were doing weddings.
We were doing weddings.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So when we were doing wedding videos, one of our biggest clients for the last video we did actually, I think was Joel Smallbone and Mariah Peters for King Country.
Okay.
Before they blew up.
Interesting.
So we did their wedding video.
So it became your personal LLC for tax purposes, and then you just started picking up more and more clients?
We picked up more clients, but I wasn't really pursuing them. It was just
at what point did you go from I need to stop selling myself as Eddie to selling myself as Concept Pixels?
I want to say that was like 2 years ago.
Was it really? You think so? Wow.
Yeah, like I used my networking as for myself to like income wise.
Yeah.
But like everything I made in the company went back into the company. Like I made $0 for the first 6 years of the company, and all my freelancing stuff was essentially how I made a salary.
Yeah.
So I didn't get anything. We'd be pulling in, $3 million a year, but that would just go right into the company. And like, for a small company, like, that's a lot. And just trying to grow it naturally.
Yep.
One of our biggest investments is in people.
Yep.
So that's where I, wanted to get people that were smarter than me, and just trying to grow it that way where I don't have to worry about things. But it was up until, I think it was last year actually. Yeah. I told my partner, so I'm like, hey, I don't think we could, sustain any longer if it's just gonna be me.
Yep.
Like I calculated, like I was playing 9 different roles and I had to hire about 9 people to replace my daily jobs. Now we're down to 7 because I had to get rid of 2 of them, unfortunately. But, we're, just having that flexibility, like of being able to like sustain and get more business.
Do you wish you would have made that transition earlier? I mean, I had this conversation with another producer. We go back and forth a lot, just conversations on supporting him and what he's doing. And he started out as selling himself. Like he was a producer with the end goal. And I went through this too early on. Like I had to make that transition early. I made it earlier than most producers probably because I never wanted to just be myself. I always wanted a team. Andrew joined me early. Jenny joined me early. So my goal was to always get to where I'm at now, where it's surrounded by a bunch of people. It's a team thing. So I tried to always sell myself. I mean, I started as a freelancer as just Brad McCraw and selling myself as a PM. producer, and then I tried to quickly transition to MOSAIC. You're not buying me, you're buying MOSAIC.
Yeah.
You're buying MOSAIC. You'll get me. Maybe it's just me by myself, but I'm gonna bill you, and you're buying MOSAIC, just to make that transition as seamless as possible. So do you wish, I mean, to go out to those producers that are thinking about, like right now they're freelance and their goal is to have a business, do you wish you would have made that transition 3 years prior to that, so you didn't end up in 9 separate roles? Like, do you think it would have been an easier transition a few years ago?
I think it would have been the same for me, at least, because we're in the gear business.
Yeah, true.
You know, and for us, it was mostly learning new systems.
Yeah.
I think getting early, into that, would it make a huge dent? It would just be a bigger overhead, honestly. And the year I did it, essentially, it was more of a realization. It's like, okay, my son just turned 3, and I calculated I was gone 390 days of his life.
Oh.
So that was a whole year that I missed.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, it's either we sell now or we get people to replace me, because I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So, now I'm luckily I get to travel. When I do travel, I'll bring them on the longer runs, which makes me not, be closer to them than anything. And like, family is a big thing for me. So like, I want to be there for my kids.
Yeah.
So I think, having that realization and letting them know, like, I can't be the one. It can't just be me, because, my partners essentially are not on the tech side of things. They're on the business aspect. So I'm the only one that's tech when it comes to them. But, I needed people to replace me in logistics, replace me in like day-to-day, just office stuff and warehouse management, sales. I had to boost up that where, and this is me looking forward, where if I were going to sell the company for whatever reason later down the line, where they're buying the company and not me.
Exactly.
And that was the biggest thing for me too.
Yeah, I feel like we see a lot of that. Like, you see the young guns who are really talented, and they'll be on the road 200 to 300 days a year. And that's fine, but it's not sustainable forever. And I feel like the guys that end up flourishing are the guys that end up starting families.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I have to make a change because I have other, important things that I got to be a part of. So then you decide that, like, I want to start a business, and then that business usually grows because you're already a very, like, determined person and have a structure going, and you hire other people.
Yeah.
I tell a bunch of young guys that, like, all the time, like, yeah, what you're doing is great and you can do it right now, but it's not going to be that way forever.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to find a transition point.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Eddie's kids, we're at a show here in California. Eddie's kids came by yesterday, 2 of the cutest little kids you'll ever see in your life. Little boy, little girl, and then hopefully it's not revealing a secret. A third is on the way.
Yeah, no, it's no secret.
Number 3 is on the way.
Thank you. Number 3 in December.
That's
Another
awesome.
December baby.
You are crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be what, 3 under 4?
3 under 4 by then, because Aiden will turn 4 December 1st.
So yeah, you need to be home more. Your wife's going to murder you if you're not.
100%.
Yeah. So Concept Pixels, give everybody who doesn't know you and Concept Pixels. I mean, a lot of people know you. Maybe they don't know Concept Pixels. Just give me a 10,000-foot overview of what Concept Pixels is. What's your your deal? What drives you? What's your culture? Just give us,
And, like, first set of gear that you bought to, like, what you own now.
Yeah.
What you provide.
I want to say the first piece of gear we bought, was actually 350 tiles of LED.
That was the very first purchase? 350,000?
Yeah, because we had a client that had a long-term rental, and I was going to sub the rental, but I found a deal where I could buy the gear for the same price, or cheaper actually. So I ended up making full profit, but it got stuck with 350 tiles. And I was like, okay, well, now what?
Now we got to make something.
Now I got to make more money.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. So I didn't want to, actually, I honestly did not want to own any gear.
Are you serious?
That was my goal, to not own any gear.
So what was the goal? What was the goal without gear?
It was essentially just producing, like, production management and offering production management services and design and stuff like that. And just getting into that realm of production. Because I still had, like, full service clients from DPS days. And like, I wanted to make sure they were taken care of. And, I didn't want to grow the way we're growing now. And it just happened. But, we're running with the flow now. But, we just wanted to start with, just a couple guys and, like, in the production guys, like, just do production.
Yeah.
But, never would I have ever imagined it being what it is now.
So talk about what it is now.
Well, we've got probably close to 6,000 tiles of LED. Our fly pack systems are pretty, like, for what it is, we're kind of the only ones that are doing it correctly for tours. So we've kind of got a niche market in live cinema, to where we're able to deploy like 5-6 cameras but in the cinema space in like 4 hours of a tour. And we're able to do it right. So, we're that side of our business has been growing quite a bit to where, we are getting calls left and right for doing these tours. And the biggest thing on the client side, on the artist side, is that not only do they get an iMac package that looks like a movie or a music video, but they get to keep the content at the end of the day if they want to capture. And that's the big seller, where they don't have to bring in another film team to do it.
That makes sense.
They have the tour team that knows the rig, that knows the songs, and that could adapt and add more cameras if they went. For instance, Brandon Lake, they just ended their tour on this last Sunday, and that last night was a live stream where we added 3 or 4 more cameras, I believe, 2 drones on that, and they captured that whole thing. And the night before in Phoenix, where you guys were, they captured that too, for a new song, and they're able to just get the footage from the guys that are on the tour. And that what best ops to have are than to have the camera guys that already know the music.
Yeah, that's huge, right?
So it's a game changer for them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you would say you guys specialize in LED and camera.
And cameras and
yeah. That's like your niche.
Yeah, but a lot of our guys are from the full production space. So when we do get calls for, full production, we won't turn it down. We'll do it. But what we're known for is video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, heavy in the Christian concert market, but also, and we've been talking because it's super fun and exciting. Eddie just got off a MrBeast shoot, which, name drop MrBeast. That's pretty cool to be able to drop for season 2? Season 2 of BeastGames. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you have an NDA, so you can't say too much about what happened, but let's tell us about that experience. How crazy was that?
It was pretty insane. I've never been part of a production that large. I want to say, I think the crew was somewhere around 800 to 900 people.
Wow.
On set.
That's production crew?
Production crew.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Anywhere from like the set designers to the wardrobe people to catering. I've never had a crew call sheet that large before, and it was like 5-6 pages and 0.5 font.
What's the WhatsApp look for that? Like, that group chat. Our group chat gets out of crazy when it's 15 people.
That makes my brain hurt.
Whatever they did, there wasn't really group chats, but just my team alone, I had 12 people on my team, I believe, and we ran a 24-hour shift. So I was the DP for the reality portion of everything. So I was working maybe 12 hours, 16 hours a day, just making sure like content's captured and for like the drama side of things.
Yeah, which you love. Eddie loves the drama.
Very spicy. I want to say this season is going to be pretty good.
I mean, last season was great. Yeah, but that's just a whole different caliber of production when you look at what he's doing, and what a cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Also part of
that I can't really talk about, but yes.
So
you could bleep that one
Producer
for
Jeff,
now.
part of Beep. We'll just say part of Beep.
But I could say the person sings about single ladies, and
you're allowed to say that much.
Has a cowboy country album. Ex hip hop artist, or was it R&B or whatever? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, who knows?
But that one was cool because we captured that for theater.
Yeah.
So that one's going to be pretty insane, and the level of production on that was just
what's the process of getting, where you don't have to tell your behind the scenes secrets, but how did you get, like, even the MrBeast, how did you get connected with the MrBeast crew? Like, what is even the origin of that?
It was all networking.
Right?
That
which is huge.
That's
in this industry, I say it constantly. That's how we met. That's how we started working together. like be good at networking. Like we said earlier, you never know who you're talking to. It could be a stagehand today and it could be your boss tomorrow.
Yep.
But keep your network good, keep it clean. Because I mean, this industry, even though it's huge from what we're doing right now in this ballroom to MrBeast, I mean, production and this industry is massive, but it's amazing how many connecting points and how many people you know in those circles. So networking, I think, in this industry is just massive.
Yeah. I want to say it's key because, like, if somebody likes you, they're going to want you on all their shows.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
especially as a freelancer, if you're a contractor, if you're a freelancer, but same with the, us that are taking on clients, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could be this, like I said in the other one, you could be the best engineer in the world, but if you suck as a person, you're not good at networking. If you're
not a good hang.
And not a good hang, they won't hire you again.
Especially when we're working. I mean, some of these days are, 12, 15-hour days, no breaks. These are the only people you see for 7 days. You're locked in a dark ballroom or concert hall or arena. Like, you want to surround yourself with good people.
I mean, especially on tours, because you're living with them.
Yeah, true.
2 weeks, whether it's 2 weeks or 6 months.
Yep.
That's the people you see every day. And, bigger tours to have no problem firing you if you're a bad person.
Yeah. Which I don't have a problem firing people if you're a bad person on a corporate gig either.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many tours have you done? Did you ever do full tours?
I mean, luckily all my tours, the longest tour I've done was probably 3 months.
Okay.
And that was my first tour with Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, really?
And that was
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, that was one of my favorite shows.
I was a video engineer for that one.
Business Time. That was like such a good
Exactly. I mean, they were really funny, really great guys to hang with, and they took for my first tour.
What a random tour to go on. What was your role in that tour?
Engineer. Yeah, so I was engineer on that one, and it was probably looking back at how like other people are touring and stuff like that. It was more of the bougier tours.
Okay.
Just because I don't know if you know tour buses, but they've got.
I've avoided tour buses in my whole career.
I've been on.
They've got condos, which are what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 per side. And then they've got apartments, which is stacked, and it's 6 beds per side.
Oh gosh!
So
like
that one,
coffin.
like a coffin. And that first tour that I did was a condo, so we had I could sit up in the bed. It was all Tempur-Pedic mattresses, so it was like very bougie.
You got spoiled on the first tour.
I got very spoiled, and then when I went on another tour right after that, it was like, okay, what is this? Like, because we were in hotel rooms, and like it was shared hotel rooms, 12 people to one hotel.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it was basically showered.
Hotel rooms.
What was that tour? Who were you touring with that point?
I think that was like Outcry, honestly.
Outcry? What is that? Is that a band?
No, Outcry. It was like the Christian festival touring.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, but I think like it's all basically like per bus just gets a shower room, and that essentially is like, all right, well, we don't have real days off, but back then it was like, okay, you're just here to hang then, hanging with everybody.
So on the Lono, what's been your favorite tour that you've been a part of?
Favorite tour? I don't really like touring in general. Oh, sorry, take that back. Any tour where Corey is at, Corey Edwards.
Dang, bromance.
Yeah, very big shout out.
We already shouted him out. What's the reason for that?
We think alike, and we have the same think alike meaning like what we like is similar. We have very similar taste of things. He's the only person that I know, well, one of the only ones, but he's very bougie, especially when it comes to food.
Okay.
And clothing and stuff like that. And I like hanging with people like that.
Okay.
Sounds a lot like Thule.
I like hanging with bougie people.
On Elevation, essentially, I think Elevation is a good one. We had a good team on Elevation, and when I toured with them, our off days, we would just get all our per diem money and combine it for a very bougie dinner, and we'd probably drop like $3,500 on dinner in one stop.
So what's your favorite tour with Corey Edwards?
I would say Elevation.
Okay.
Elevation nights.
What was your role on those?
I was video director on that.
And he's A1?
He was production designer, audio engineer, or mixer. Or he was the A1.
Okay.
Right? And then he was also the PM.
Yeah.
So designer and PM.
Okay.
So.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I've avoided tour buses my whole career.
Smart.
I prefer, we talked about in one of them, like audio, we talked about corporate production versus concert production. And like, I just prefer the corporate production because I like staying in really nice hotels and eating really good food as opposed to sleeping in a tour bus and eating catering in an arena or showering with others like you had to do.
I want to say, if I was single and, maybe 5 years, 10 years younger, I'd probably do touring for a career.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a business.
Because of why?
Just the hangs. Just people you're with.
I mean, it is fun. One of the things I love about this industry, just in general, is out of town shows where like hang time is, you have substantial hang time. You get to become close with everybody. I mean, it's almost like you go to war together in some of these and the bonds that you form on these long shows. So I'm sure it even becomes more on tour because you're with each other for 3 months at a time. But I'm sure it could be aggravating too if you're with certain people for 3 months at a time.
But I mean, you create lifelong friends too, which is, it's a good thing. And, the networking from that kind of shows.
I think that's a whole thing in this industry, even on this side and on the tour side. Like most of our people that are on our shows have become lifelong friends. Yeah. And most of them outside of this industry would probably never interact. We talk about that all the time. We've got certain guys and girls that would never really meet each other outside of the industry. And they've all become, there's the super upscale boy, and then there's the, the low scale boy. It's a little goofy. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan and Chris. Ryan and Chris would never meet each other in real life at a bar and become homies, and they've become best friends.
That's awesome.
They're totally different personalities, and it's just cool. But I feel like that's just this industry. You get to meet new people and all become, because you're spending so much time together, you just become best friends, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Concept Pixels becomes a thing. It starts to get busy. It becomes less Eddie, more Concept Pixels. What's the future look like for Concept Pixels?
I think, honestly, we're growing at a good pace right now to where, we're getting calls left and right for essentially, live cinema capture. And, I like the live space. I like the live environments. It's just something different every time. And I think that I'd like to take over on that space in general, whether it's CCM artists and secular artists, and that's something that we're getting really good at. And I feel like we've grown a lot in learning new things constantly, daily when it comes to it. There's just, it's just a brand new space in the live side of things, especially when it comes to capture.
Yeah, I'll say you guys are doing a great job at that, especially on the networking side, because I see your name, Concept Pixels, pop up on everything, especially on the CCM world.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like, oh, they're doing that. I'm like, oh, Eddie's doing he's part of that. Like, it's like, it's
even if it's other companies, like Brandon Lake IPS is doing one thing, DC Pro is doing something, but Concept Pixels is in the mix. You see other tours, it may be Sound Image or somebody else, but Concept Pixels is in the mix. I feel like same thing. We see it all the time. So kudos to you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So on the camera cinema side and the LED, or do you feel like you're going to go more towards the camera cinema side away from the LED?
I don't think we're going to go away from the LED just because have long existing
now you have
clients,
so much inventory too,
and we have a lot of inventory where we need to still service them. That's just something I don't want to get rid of. But I kind of want to I feel like they feed each other as well. Some tours require us to do both and just get one video package rather than two vendors. So it kind of helps that way when some of these clients, when we do package them together. But it just depends on the growth and the need. We get crazy requests sometimes where it's like, hey, we've got a 6-month tour and we need 1,000 panels of this. And we're like, we can't do that. So it's like, we'll have to drop a lot of those things. And, we bid against some of the biggest touring companies in the world. And for me, it's just already an honor to be able to do that.
Yeah, which is cool.
Because there's only 3 of them, and there's only 3 of us on this bid, and we're one of the companies. And we're like, okay, who are these guys?
Huge.
But that puts a target on my back with these big companies. Which I just found out this last weekend, where they hate my guts too.
Just because they don't know you, just because they're bidding against you?
Yeah, they'll see my numbers and they're like, oh, we're going to lose this one, or we have to drop our numbers. I'm like, I'm not dropping my numbers because you guys are bidding on it. So they think automatically that they're going to lose because I'm going to be the lowest bidder, but usually I'm not. And usually they end up dropping it. I'm like, all right, well, you guys could have it.
Exactly. Interesting.
So when are we going to see a Concept Pixels movie directed by Eddie Suparman?
A movie?
Yeah.
Maybe an Emmy award on your way, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of movies,
I mean, possibly if
that'd be amazing.
I mean, if season 2 wins Emmys, then probably if Beast Games.
How cool would that be?
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get one, but
Have you guys
it'd be
done
cool.
any type of like docu-series, like documentaries of like behind the scenes with like summer worship nights or anything like that?
for like us,
Yeah.
no.
Would
They
that be
have
something you're into?
You shot it, right? For Summer Worship. Did you guys shoot their documentary? That's on
Not the
Angel
documentary.
Studios?
We did shoot a portion of it, so all the live capture we
Okay.
did. That was with Noah. Noah, I don't know how to say his last name.
Does that intrigue you, going back to the early days when you were into film, like taking what you guys, like say, producing that whole project where you're shooting the live stuff and you're shooting the documentary stuff and making a whole project out of it?
Well, for me, it's like full circle.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of blends your early passion with your current passion.
And that's exactly right. Like, right. And like, I like both worlds. I just didn't think we'd get to this point where it's both combined now. And we're seeing a lot of that. Even with Super Bowl, right? Like they did everything with film cameras, and all film glass.
Yeah.
So just to see those two worlds combine, it's like, I'm liking it.
What's cool about you guys, I mean, even like the Brandon Lake, you're not only capturing, but you're also in charge of all IMAG cameras too. So, I mean, that film looks amazing on IMAG, plus you're doing the capture, plus you're doing the live stream.
Yeah. And we have a good guy, David Rose, on there. And he's directing that one. And that one is, from what I've seen on all the videos, it just looks amazing. That they could just take a piece of it on the program cut and just edit it to be not even edit it, like make it a music video right away.
Yeah, I was just, we were at the Phoenix one for the Brandon Lake worship nights, and I was very impressed by all the camera cuts and IMAG and the shots. Like they did a great job.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, it's definitely a good team.
It was a great team. Shout out to Hayden. Shout out to Sam Shelton on the Steadicam. Always good shots.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exciting. I love watching what you guys are doing. I mean, that's why this has been fun to interview different CEOs, owners, the passion behind it, just to see the different paths that everybody's taken. It's so different for each guy, but obviously the underlying passion for what you do and how you do it is pretty amazing. So it's been fun to watch and just see your growth and Concept Pixels growth. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to be, and obviously we love you as a human being too, so that helps. How often are you taking gigs? Right now, Eddie's out with us for a big pastors event in California, just just calling cameras for us for the local in the room thing. Are you trying to get away from that more? I know you're so busy now with bigger projects. We love having you out, but I think that's, is it still because it's such a passion of yours and you just love doing it?
Yeah,
you just love hanging out with us?
Yeah, both. Okay, I mean, good. I like working with great people, and you guys are great people, and just being here, it's kind of like being here, honestly, is kind of a stress reliever for me.
Which is nice. I'm sure it's like a nice break.
Yeah. I mean, some people,
your family's here with you, which is awesome.
Yeah. And for some people, like doing what I'm doing is kind of like a big stress thing for, some video directors and TDs. But for me, like I don't think I've touched a switcher and engineered a switcher since the last show I did with you.
Really?
Yeah, that was the last time.
Well, thank you for doing
Usually I have Johan.
He told me when he came in, he was like, "Hey, where's this? And I was talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just used to like it being set up, and I just sit down and do it.
Walk in and it's done."
There's a white glove,
bougie.
Yeah. Shout out to Corey Edwards.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to that.
Speaking of white glove bougie.
Yeah.
You usually have Johan or Hayden setting up for you, and then you walk in and push the buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
How often do I noticed when you were shooting, what did I just see you shoot something, and you were having Shep run switch, and you were just calling cameras.
Portland Crusade.
Do you prefer to do it that way? That's how I did it when I was in ministry. I called cameras every weekend in ministry. I could never also be the op. I always had to be eyes up.
It depends on the role. Like if I haven't worked with a TD that I'm not familiar with, sometimes I get a little nervous on either, are they going to call on time? Are they going to cut it? Or sorry, are they going to cut on time? Are they going to be able to change and adapt, right? If it's live music, that's one thing. If it's kind of corporate, but also live, that's another thing. My biggest thing is like, if I have a TD, a technical director on there, I kind of want them to only listen to me and no one else on comms and just pay attention and do things the way I need them to do it.
Yep.
And the way I like to do it, and Pete, this is big fighting words in the TD world and video directing, realm, but I like to see preview go up first before we cut, right?
Yep.
Just so it's a comfort level on me knowing that they're going to take the right camera.
Of course.
And if I need to bail from that, it's not too late.
There's other guys that do it the opposite. I would have done the same way.
There's a lot of guys apparently now
They're
that
just cutting.
hot
cuts.
hotkey
I
or
couldn't
whatever
do
it's
that.
called.
That's dangerous.
It's very dangerous for me. I'm like, I don't want to risk it because especially if it's live, you have one shot. And like when you screw that up, everyone's going to know.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
So for me, it's like, I rather preview it, and whether I change it or not, I'm going to change it. But that person who's TDing needs to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's why preview's a thing. Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you use that?
Yeah.
What's your passion area there? Is that, do you feel like when you're calling cameras, it's worship music is kind of the...
I think music in general.
Just music in general.
Yeah, music in general. I love cutting music. You know, I have a music background, so I understand the music theory and like the flow of music and like the build. And I like, and this is something I did talk to Shep about too, is like, you know, the way I cut, essentially, I also want to show off the rig of the room,
Okay.
the design. You know, a lot of people don't do that. And, you know, I've seen a lot of directors where they're like up and coming directors and where they're just cutting just to cut and just to cut fast. And it's like, and it's not about that.
That drives me nuts.
And there's a big theory when it comes to directing, where you have to be intentional with everything when you're cutting.
I feel like you need to leave space too. I feel like there's a bunch of young dudes, I won't name names, but they're just, it's just like every beat is a cut.
Yeah. And
like there's no, especially for me in worship, that's in a worship environment. Like you have to leave some space just to breathe in those camera cuts. But I think, it's like, I mean, it's the same with new lighting guys that just turn everything to white and it's strobe and flash. Like there's no, to me, that's not tasteful and it doesn't leave space for those moments.
Yeah, I've even seen like Steadicam shots that they take it for almost like 30 seconds.
Yeah, no.
And it's actually, but sometimes it's nice. Like,
well, sometimes,
But like you don't need, I'm saying you don't need to be just cut. Always like there's times for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like just this last weekend, like I utilized the Steadicam and even I had dolly cam, Steadicam, and even a cable cam on this last shoot. And, you know, I like to see the rig when it has those big hits.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I just want people to feel what they're like. If they're watching at home, I don't want them to see.
Well, you want them to feel like they're in the room.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to feel the environment. You're kind of telling a story. Yeah, the worst is when you see like a nice big sweeping jib shot and it's up for 2.5 seconds max. Like, bro, you didn't even get to see the what he was trying to do with that jib shot.
Yeah, and my biggest thing, as far as a directing standpoint, is like, especially on those big music moments where it's like a big build and a big drop.
Yep.
And like there's these big lighting hits and stuff like that, and the crowd goes wild. You don't see any of that.
It's you want to experience it.
Like a tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like we all know what the artist looks like. Like
exactly.
We want to see what all these people put their hearts and souls into as well. Like the production design and the set. Like it adds definitely.
You definitely need to have big picture of the actual show.
That's why I bring you out to my shows, because I do all the design. So I want all camera shots to include the stage design.
So it's going to be mostly jib.
Mostly jib.
Yeah. Hardly any worship, just all stage design. It'd be the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, it's the same we talked about it on the audio episode. I think obviously doing anything audio is exciting, but there's those worship moments or concert moments that are just so fun because you feel like you're part of it. In the same way, you're calling cameras, like you're part of the experience. You're part of telling the story. You're part of it, which I think for me made it always so fun when I was an audio guy or calling cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it's been so good to have you. I love everything you're doing. Like I said, just continue what you're doing. We love you. All of our crew always talks about how fun you are to have on events with us.
Thanks.
So please keep coming out and just calling cameras, even though you're too big for us now because concept pixels that explode and you're all over the place. We appreciate that we get to hire just Eddie, and Eddie comes out and is one of our friends that gets to hang out with us for a few days and call cameras with us. So, man, it's been fun having you on here. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to drop some new episodes. We're trying every Wednesday with the same kind of industry leaders talking industry stuff. So stay tuned. Crew Call Pod on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.